My name is Dr. Ali Hushman. I'm the president of Rowan University. On behalf of the entire Rowan family, the Board of Trustees, our faculty members, our staff, and the administration, I want to congratulate you for your tremendous accomplishments. I'm so sorry that you're not here so that we can celebrate your tremendous accomplishments physically. Ordinarily, in this vast stadium, your loved ones are sitting on the bleachers and you're sitting in here, and there is a platform and there are pomp and circumstance and there are all sorts of wonderful things are happening, and there's going to be celebration after the event in here. But today we have to do this thing virtually, of course, for the reasons that we all know. It is very, very difficult, of course, to really measure the tremendous amount of accomplishment that you have had during the years that you spent in here. And it's not fair that you are not here and to celebrate that tremendous accomplishment with your family members. For that, I'm sorry. It is what it is. It's the nature of this virus, and we have to endure. One thing I do commit to you, though, we will come back when the time is right, and we will celebrate together physically for each of you in each of your college, so that you will have the opportunity to stand on the platform, shake the hand of your dean, and receive your diploma. During the years that we spent together, we accomplished so much. Remember the Rowan Boulevard when you started in here 5, 6 years ago or 4 years ago? It was half built. It's now complete and totally vibrant. The campus looked beautiful. When you started in here, we were a master's classified institution, ranked regionally, and US News & World Report recognized us as a master's classified university. Today, we are one of the major comprehensive research universities, one of only 3 institutions in the nation with 2 medical schools, and we are ranked amongst the top 100 research institutions in the nation and globally recognized. As you grew, therefore, so have we, and the value of your degree has increased significantly during this period of time. I want to congratulate you again on behalf of the entire community of Rowan University, our Board of Trustees, our faculty members, our staff, the people who maintain this campus, your second home for you to come back. I want to congratulate you again for your accomplishment, congratulate your loved one for your accomplishment, and I hope that you would have the opportunity while you're staying at home with them to thank them for the years that they supported you and loved you and gave you the support that you needed so that they accomplish what you have. Congratulations again, and I look forward to seeing you once more time before you go back to the real world and become a productive taxpayer. Congratulations.
Good afternoon, Rowan University, and to the class of 2020, I say congratulations. I am aware that this is not the graduation you had planned or hoped for. And I know it feels hard to celebrate right now, but I want each of you, wherever you happen to be, to go get a glass of something. It doesn't matter what it is, just something you're going to take a sip of later on in this speech, okay? Got it? Okay. I truly wish I was there in person to say these words to you. I would very much like to see your beautiful faces, to hear your ebullient voices, and to share this moment with you. Alas, the universe had different plans. You've spent years working toward this day, only to have your final semester derailed by a global pandemic. You've been working virtually with little human contact. There are no parties, no hugs from friends, no proud family members embarrassing you by being overly emotional at breakfast about how much you've grown up. I imagine for some it's been just weird. For others it's been super stressful. And for some it's felt disastrous. What's happened in the past few months in the world has been the definition of a disaster. I'm sure it feels like a shadow cast over what should have been a boisterous time of transition. But still, here you are, Each of you has taken your own unique, circuitous path to get here, and today is the end result of countless choices you've made. Some easy, some difficult. Some were good, and for some, I'm sure you would like a do-over. And yet, here you all are. You're graduating. You may not be together, but you still represent a collective, a group of individuals bound by common experience. You've gone through something together, and a lack of physical proximity at this moment doesn't negate or erase that. Not at all. Because this is an experience. It's an intimacy you've shared with a very specific cohort. Let's talk about what you've shared. Not just all the material you've absorbed, not the hoops that you've jumped through, not simply the friendships and the romances, the difficulties and the triumphs. You've shared growing up together. I want you to do a mental exercise with me. I want to visit past you for a moment. Picture yourself on the occasion of your first day here at Rowan. Not your first day of classes. Think about the very first day you arrived. Think of this like a movie starring you as the main character. Look at yourself. So young, so innocent. The following 4 years were a completely unknown path to you at that point in time, a mystery. You'd moved beyond primary school. You were in college. You were moving toward adulting. You had expectations, hopes, fears, and ideas. You may have felt positively or negatively about it, but all of you were probably thinking, how is this going to go? What is this going to be like? Remember the particular state of unknowing that you were in, what a blank slate you were, a tabula rasa. I'll wager you were also a little scared. At the outset of every life-changing new experience, all humans everywhere experience a diverse cocktail of thoughts and emotions. Anticipating unknown futures can be done with optimism or with pessimism, but any way you slice it, there is always a bit of fear in the mix. Because change is scary and big change is big scary. It's completely natural to anticipate the unknown with trepidation. Okay, freeze frame you on that first day. It's transition time. Now we're going to picture a montage or time lapse of what you've experienced between that day and today. Your favorite song over the montage if you'd like. Call up your key memories from the last 1,500 or so days and throw them up on a screen in your mind's eye. The laughs you shared. The tears you shed. The romances you grew from. The collaborations you learned from. The failures, the hardships. Think on the moments you didn't know you could recover from. Those moments where you nailed it. Think of how your friends were there for all of it, and they helped you get through. You've been through a crucible. In the heat of college, you have been forged into the shape that you are right now. And it's a new shape, a very different shape than that first day shape. This is not your final shape, not by a long shot, but it is worth comparing yourself now to the person who arrived at this institution all those years ago. Think back again on that first day and think about the things you knew to be true on that day. What you knew about college, what you knew about people, what you knew about yourself. Now reflect briefly on what you were wrong about. Not just misinformed, not just naive. How many ideas did you hold 4 years ago that you were positive were true that you now know to be complete malarkey? If you're anything like me, it's a long list. Late at night when I can't sleep, my monkey mind still alights on all the dumb crap I've believed and said and done in my past. Go easy on past you. They were working with incomplete information. We all are. Now, we're going to become time travelers and we're going to look at ourselves 5 years from now. Inhabit this 5-year future you And from this vantage point, look back upon yourself right now. What I want to tell you is that future you is going to look upon right now you with the exact same amount of patient indulgence that present you looks upon first day in college you. There's so much you are wrong about at this very moment, and that's okay. It's not just okay, it's called being a person. This process will continue and repeat itself for the entirety of your life. This is the lesson I have to give you about adulthood. None of us know anything for sure, and we are all doing the best we can with incomplete information. That's how it goes. When I was young, like you, I imagined that adults had read the back of the box and knew the rules and how everything was supposed to go. It was a shock to learn that the opposite is true. So, how do we move forward if all we have are incomplete pieces of the puzzle? We do it the way that you've made it this far. We make it by pushing ourselves while at the same time being gentle with ourselves. We make it by leaning on those close to us when we need support and providing support when those we love need it. We make it by comparing our experience with others and talking openly about that experience and learning from each other's perspective. We make it by working hard and being loving to those around us and also ourselves. In short, we make it the same way you've made it this far, by working together. And there is one extra piece to the recipe of how to move forward with insufficient information, and that is curiosity. What life will repeatedly teach you is that there is no master plan to follow, no complete outline to compare the present experience against, no bulwark against the confusion of present experience. But curiosity about what is happening and where it might lead step by step, all the while taking into account what is. When you're curious and you apply that curiosity like a beam onto what is happening, you start to surmise that the trick isn't figuring out the overall path. The trick is figuring out what the very next step is. Treat the unknown with curiosity rather than with a desire for answers to everything, and you might just see far enough to move forward incrementally. This is, for me, one of the most important lessons I have learned. Most of the time, just knowing the very next location to place your metaphorical or literal feet is real and abiding progress. We can rarely see any distance into the future, but if we ask enough questions and unflinchingly take reality into account, we can see what's possible tomorrow, next week. Lao Tzu famously said that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. I like to think that he's saying that in order to walk 1,000 miles, you need to mostly keep your eye on the very next step. Remember that I said you were not in your final shape? Here's another secret. You never will be. You are a work in progress. To quote my friend Tom Sachs, we are all going to die with to-do lists. This is one of the reasons I don't like asking kids what they're going to be when they grow up, because it's a way of imbuing them with a sense that there is a final shape to attain, and there isn't. You are never finished. So, here you are today. You are at the end of one thing and at the beginning of another thing. As Rilke put it, the past has left you, but the future has not yet taken hold. As you listen to me talking, waiting for your future to take hold, the world itself is in a similar transitory place. We face actual mortal dangers that will affect all life. A past way of doing many things is gone, and how things will be done in the future remains a bit of a mystery. And unlike first day in college you, I'm not guessing you might be scared here. I know you're scared. Because we all are. Our future as a country, as a culture, as a planet, and as a species is unknown and at this moment unknowable. So the question facing every single human being is the same question facing you graduates today. How do we face a future with incomplete information, uncertain outcomes, and dangers seen and unseen? How do we forge a proper path to the positive benefit of all? We've paused the machine that is the world. How do we get it started again? Together, of course. We face it with a commitment to listening to each other's experience and sharing ours when it's useful. We face it by taking into account not just the world we experience, but by looking through each other's eyes and seeing the world through different perspectives. We face it by looking at the world with a critical eye and see not just how we wish it was, but how it truly is right now. We face it with curiosity. We are all doing the best that we can. And we face this uncertain future collectively with love, hard work, passion, humor, and a key eye on those biases that we hold that prevent us from seeing things clearly. Seeing clearly with your mind and your heart is truly the very next step. To the Rowan class of 2020, lift your glass with me. And here's my toast. Know thyself, love thyself, love each other, work together, take the privilege of your education and pass on what you've learned. Listen carefully to each other. Be gentle. Remember that we are all of us flawed vessels and that we can achieve stunning and amazing things when we care and join forces together, even when we have incomplete information. Because that's all we're ever going to get. Because we have each other, and that's enough. Cheers. Stay safe, stay curious, stay obsessed, and be kind. I thank you. Class of 2020, congratulations, graduates. Thank you guys so much for the honor of attending your graduation, even virtually. Be well.
Good afternoon, class of 2020. My name is Catherine Nee, and I'm honored to be receiving this year's Distinguished Alumni Award. Well, obviously this is not the award, but I thought it felt weird to not hold something, and what better way to celebrate an award by a nice bottle of red. Anyway, it was 20 years ago that I graduated with the first class of engineers in 2000, and I remember the energy and excitement like it was yesterday. I'm sure today is a little different as you're sitting in the comfort of your home, watching this in your own space, as opposed to sweating it out in uncomfortable chairs and listening to hours of speeches. But regardless of how different your experience was for mine, this day in your life signifies the same it was for me 20 years ago. It's the end of a chapter and the beginning of the next. My degree at Rowan gave me the skills to be successful in my career, and within a week after graduation, I started my career journey at Lockheed Martin. My teachers, clinic projects, and relationships prepared me for the real world, and I have been enjoying every minute of it. I'm now a successful executive at Lockheed Martin in Orlando, Florida, and I've used my passion for technology and people to provide solutions to the men and women of our armed forces. I continue to track the progress that Rowan University has made, growing into an amazing institution. And each year, my husband and I get to meet the recipients of our scholarship fund. We are always so amazed at the students coming out of Rowan and the amazing accomplishments of the student body. I am so proud to be a prof, and I love telling the story of our school. In recent years, I've had to tell that story a lot less because of the national attention that our institution has gotten. It's my honor to be recognized by the Alumni organization, and I challenge you all that as you go into the world and make a success in your future, Make it a mission to attribute that success to the foundation that Rowan has provided. And when you're ready, give back to its students and pay it forward. Stay safe, stay healthy, and congratulations. You deserve to celebrate. Thank you again.
Rowan Class of 2020, families, friends, and loved ones. I am Tony Lohman, Provost of the University. As Chief Academic Officer, it is my pleasure to present the Class of 2020 to Board of Trustees Chairman Chad Bruner, who will officially confer the degrees that you have earned. The candidates who have successfully met the requirements for doctoral, professional, educational specialist, masters, and bachelors are hereby certified by the faculty to receive their degrees. Chairman Bruner, I present them to you for degree conferral.
Thank you, Provost Lohman. Doctoral, professional, educational specialist, master's, and bachelor's degree candidates of the class of 2020 who have been certified as having completed all the requirements for graduation by the authority vested in me as chairman of the Rowan University Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degrees which you have earned with all the rights, privileges, responsibilities, and obligations appertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Good afternoon, Rowan University Class of 2020. My name is Ricardo Dale, and I have the pleasure of addressing you today. I want to start by thanking those who made it possible for me to be here today. My mom, my grandma, Mr. and Mrs. Amuso, Dr. Pettis and Mrs. Pettis, Mr. Carr and all of Give Back, Dr. Monroe, Dr. Coxum, Mrs. Barada, Mr. Jones, Dr. Kapler, and my friends who have become more like family. Today I want to take the time to tell you about a conversation I had my freshman year in high school. I got a call from a mentor of mine. He had found out I finished the year with a 0.8 GPA, and he was furious. Before he could even get a word out, I started telling him how my mother was struggling with an addiction and my father figure had passed away that year and my actual father wasn't in my life, and he stopped me. He said, "Your life will not be determined by the things that happen to you, but how you choose to react to them." And at that time I was thinking, what is he talking about? But he was right. If I kept telling myself things like I was a failure because my father wasn't in my life, I wouldn't be here graduating today because he never came back. My circumstance didn't change. I changed. I stopped being a victim. I started taking every situation that happened to me in life and making the best out of it. Rowan University Class of 2020, you have a decision to make. We have every right to be upset, but you can choose to focus on the good times. You could choose to focus on your accomplishments, your unforgettable friends, the events at the Student Center, your nights at Landmark, and the list goes on. I don't know about you, but I'm making a choice and I choose to be happy. I choose to be happy because this has been the best 4 years of my life. And I choose to be grateful because a lot of my friends didn't make it to college. Some of them didn't even make it to this age. We shouldn't be focused on what kind of celebration we had or how much time we had, but what we should be thinking about is what we did with the time that we did have and how we can make the most of today and every day that follows. Because this is your life and you're going to choose how happy or how successful you are. No circumstance, no situation. You. Thank you. And congratulations.
Hello, fellow graduates. My name is Jason Fish, and I'm the SGA Executive Vice President. Today, I'm joined virtually by Who Are You and a few graduates from the class of 2020. It is our honor to lead the important tradition, tossing of the tassel. Bachelor's candidates from the class of 2020, join me on the count of 3 as we toss our tassels from right to left. Are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations and good luck on all your future endeavors.
Thank you all for attending our virtual commencement ceremony today. To our graduates, congratulations on these achievements and know that we're extremely proud of you. We look forward to getting you back on campus as soon as possible to celebrate your achievements in person. Until then, stay safe, make a difference in the world, and know that we're extremely proud of you.
Tell her she don't want, she